Hey fans, what's up? It's Gamer Guy 7 Aces here, and today I want to talk about an important issue that's been bothering me, that's been on my mind for a while, and it's about the negative influences of influential people. Now, this could be anybody, but I'm mostly talking about the internet and YouTubers. Let me talk about when this idea popped in my head to do a video for this. This was the other day. I was working at my job and stuff, and I was talking to a coworker. Now, this coworker, he's still in high school. He's like in 12th grade, graduating, going to college. We figured we like a bunch of like nerdy stuff, like movies and all that, and games. So we started talking about video games and what type of games we like. And he's a big fan of the Nintendo Switch. Said he couldn't wait to get Zelda Breath of the Wild and all that. And he's also a big fan of JRPGs like Xenoblade and all that stuff. And I told him, oh, I like a lot of platformers, and he liked platformers too. He's mentioned Mario, but I told him I like platformers like Mario, Crash, Sonic, all that. And before I even continue, he just interrupted me. He's like, oh, Sonic, Sonic. He's just the games are just so bad. Like, man, he does not have a good rep. And now I understand though, like, when some of you Sonic fans talk about when someone criticizes a game, or even when I simply say that Sonic Unleashed is not a masterpiece, that may trigger some of you people. You might feel offended, like I'm trying to attack you, or I'm just expressing my opinions. But this one, this is when I say it's okay to feel offended, because when someone just calls an entire franchise trash, it's like, damn, dude. And so, like, of course, I was smiling. I wasn't going to get all pissed in a public place. I mean, come on. So I was like, yo, man, like, Sonic is like my favorite video game franchise. They're like, well, why do you hate it so much? Have you played the games? Is it just not your thing? Because, I mean, I understand there's some franchises that you're just not going to like. Like, like, I've never really gotten that much into Zelda. But Zelda is a great game series. Just because I'm not into it doesn't mean it's garbage. But he said, oh no, I never really played the games. I just played Sonic Adventure, but that's probably not a good place to start because that game is bad too and hasn't aged well. And the moment he said that, that's when I thought, oh yeah, he's one of those guys. He's one of those people who don't know much about a video game franchise. They're just getting their information from what they've heard from other people. Moreover, influential people on YouTube, big YouTubers. And this is not the first time I've come across someone who knows nothing about the Sonic franchise or isn't that familiar with it, who just just hates it. Like, they just have some unexplained hatred towards the games, and it's just a huge big joke like, oh, the franchise sucks, they have bad games, how can you be into that? And then I talked to him a bit more about how the classics are very good, he should try them out, if he has doubts, especially Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then he was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying those are bad or anything, I mean, but ever since he went into 3D, the games haven't been good at all. And that was just further proof that everything he was telling me, he heard it from other people. Like, this is not authentic opinions. I'm like, that's what everybody says. The moment Sonic went into 3D, he was bad. I joke about that on Twitter, but you guys know I'm not serious. I mean, I just made a previous video about Sonic Generations being the best modern Sonic game. True, Sonic has had a lot of bad games in 3D. He hasn't had a clean track record or as flawless of a track record as Mario, but that doesn't mean Sonic has been shit since he's been 3D. Like, huh? And there's a lot of people like this. I talk to them, they'll be like, oh man, Sonic isn't good. Like, Sonic was never good and all that. The only people in public, like, I'm talking about people that, just the average Joe who are very excited talking about Sonic, or they know a lot about Sonic, are people that grew up with Sonic like me. But all these other people, these young people, or even these Generation Z people who haven't really played Sonic, they grew up on like first person shooters and all that, they only know Sonic through negative means, and that really just pisses me off. It's like, you don't know about a game franchise, but you only know about bad things about it because you follow the people. So, and this goes beyond just IGN, because I know a lot of people watch IGN. A lot of my friends in real life, they're subscribed to games like IGN because to the outside person, to the outside viewer, IGN seems like the most authentic, the most legit professional gaming company. So when you watch a video and they talk about, oh, Sonic was never good, whether they said they were being serious or not, or they were joking, the third person, the audience, is going to take that literally. They're going to be like, wow, this franchise is so bad, because people always talk about it, how bad it is, and these are professionals, so they must be right. But I don't want to talk about IGN because they're obvious. People always like blaming things on IGN because it's a company, it's a corporation, and people always like to hate on corporate stuff. But let's talk about these big YouTubers, these single YouTubers that people like to protect and stuff. But it's really because of them that all this started. Sonic 06 had bad reviews the moment it came out, but I'm talking about the first person on YouTube that actually gave a negative, not a negative, but a less than awesome review on a 3D Sonic game that was once hailed as great, and that's Johnny. Some call me Johnny. Now, before you jump to conclusions, I love Johnny, and I loved his reviews on Sonic Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. You know, I agree with all those wholeheartedly. I don't agree with it 100%. Like, Sonic Adventure 1, he said he only liked, like a third of the game. No, he only liked 2/3 of the game. He only liked Sonic, Story, Tails, Knuckles, and that's it. Yeah, okay, he said he only liked half. He didn't like Amy, Gamma, or Big. As for me, I liked all of them. And I also liked Gamma, except I didn't like Amy's, and I didn't like Big. So I liked 2/3 of the game. But I also agree with him with Sonic Adventure 2. He only liked the Sonic stages. He wasn't fond of the treasure hunting because it was harder and the radar system was just bad. But the thing is, my point is, you know, that was the first type of review that was like, wow, this guy is not, he's just speaking his mind on him not loving Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and he compared it with Sonic Colors and Generations, and he said he'd much rather play Colors and Generations over Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 any day, and I also agree with him. You know, of course, when Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 first came out when I was a kid, I was mesmerized by it, couldn't wait to play it and stuff, but as I gotten older, the games haven't aged that well to me, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know how to explain it until I watched Johnny. But that's one thing. That's the good side, you know. But the problem is, after Johnny came all these copycats, all these followers that started making Adventure 1 and 2 seem like they were just complete garbage, and anybody who likes them or who liked them in the past is delusional. The big culprit of this is Game Grumps. Aaron loves harping on Sonic. He loves trashing on Sonic anytime he gets. He even tried trashing on Sonic when they played Sonic 3 Knuckles and Grumcade. He couldn't talk that much shit about it because the game is great. But you know, a lot of people like to protect him. I mean, even Sonic Twitter, they, you know, they're friendly. They're friends with Game Grumps, but that's why Sonic Twitter got on my nerves sometimes, because it's like, yo, you guys are basically sucking up to these people who are so influential. People believe them that Sonic games suck. I have a lot of people, a lot of friends who watch Game Grumps, who even wear their merch, wear their t-shirts, and when we talk about the games, when they talk about the games Game Grump plays, they talk about Sonic so negatively. They're like, oh, the Sonic games aren't that good, they're all garbage. And they genuinely believe this, and they've never played Sonic before. Read the comments of Game Grumps too. You see people saying, man, is there a single good Sonic game out there? All I've seen Game Grumps play are trashy Sonic games. Is this whole franchise just bad? And they genuinely don't know. So these people are being influenced by people like Game Grumps or Aaron, who saying, oh, Sonic is garbage, is bad, and they're taking it literally. I don't care if Aaron is joking. Not a lot of people can understand that, just like there are people on my Twitter who follow me who don't always understand when I'm, you know, cracking a joke. And then we have other people too, like Pro Jared and all that. Like Pro Jared, when he made his review, like he's only reviewed bad Sonic games, or Sonic Adventure 2, talking about its huge flaws and how this game isn't good at all, when that's not true. Sonic Adventure 2 has great elements in it, you know. Sure, the adventure games haven't aged well, but who cares? People always use that as an example. Mario 64 hasn't aged well. And when I say this, some people are like, what? How dare you? It's like, no, seriously, Super Mario 64 has not aged well at all. And I'm not just talking about the graphics, the physics. I hate how Mario just slips and slides down the slopes, you know? If I had to compare the 3D games, 64 would be right down there with Sunshine. But people always give Mario a pass or slap on their wrist because, oh, it's Mario. It was the first to revolutionize the game genre. It was the first to do this. But there's a lot of games, just like Exo Paradigm Gamers in his review, there's a lot of games in that period in the late 90s that didn't age well. Crash 1, Super Mario 64, Sonic Adventure 1. I mean, the list goes on. And Star Fox 64, that game looked like crap. Let's be honest, it looked like pixelated crap, but nobody talks bad about that. Or even, then don't even get me started with the dialogue. People act like Sonic Adventure 1 is the only game with bad dialogue, and not every game was like Crash. Crash always had great dialogue. But there are games that have bad dialogue too. Star Fox 64, no one talks about that. So yeah, and then you have people who just continue. Like, there was a period, it was around 2014, 2015. This was around the Sonic drought. Especially after Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, people were just taking the mickey out of Sonic, you know, just bashing on him for fun. You know, thank God Sonic Mania came out last year, because as mediocre Sonic Forces was, Sonic Mania was great, which balanced things out. But 2014, man, that was a shitty year for Sonic, man, because Sonic had two bad games, straight up garbage games. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal. And that time, everybody was making reviews on Sonic Adventure, saying how they're bad, or even going as far as to saying Sonic has never been good. They just wanted to taint the reputation of Sonic, making it look like Sonic was never good. You've all been deceiving yourselves. And Jimmy Wetzel, I know you guys know Jimmy Wetzel on YouTube, but I hated his reviews on Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I remember talking to my friend Husky Z. That made us just unsub from his channel. I mean, he hasn't posted in a long time, and I don't care. He's in cahoots with Game Grumps. Like, he collabs with them, and it's like, it was horrible. Like I even wrote in the comments, I'm like, yo, I'm not even an adventure fanboy, and this video offended me. He'll be like, the Sonic Adventure games were never that great. You know, if you avoided this franchise, consider yourself lucky. We were all dumb when we were kids. It was just a trend. Not until EXO and we made videos, you know, I made a Sonic theory on the Sonic fan base being broken, and EXO, he made a video on why the adventure games aren't garbage, and it's like, after that, we both kind of killed the whole trend of bashing on the adventure games and bashing on Sonic just for fun. But I remember that period, that was so annoying. But just because that period is over doesn't mean people change their opinions. A lot of people just have this notion that Sonic is just bad, and I call it a mob mentality. It's definitely a mob mentality. People influenced by other big people to, you know, have a certain way of thinking, like conform to an idea of something, even if it's false. And if you ever criticize that, people will attack you or be like, how dare you? And I freaking hate the mob mentality. I never liked it. Always hate it. You always have to approach things with an open mind and a critical mind. Don't just join people. Oh, everyone says something's a masterpiece, I must call that too. Oh, everyone says something's overrated or underrated or garbage, so I must say the same too. And that really annoys me. And it's just sad that Sonic, I don't think Sonic will ever get out of this way of thinking, you know, this mentality. And it's horrible, you know? It's like a big YouTuber can say whatever they can say. They can do no wrong so long as they're big and influential. What do you guys think about all this, about the negative impact of influential people on YouTube? This all started because of YouTube. If YouTube never existed, the internet didn't exist, or no, if YouTube didn't exist, people wouldn't be thinking like this, because in the past, nobody just assumed something of a video game because of what someone said. That makes no sense. People would try it for themselves. But people look up to these people. They feel that they are all knowing, and that's really annoying. So what do you guys think about it? Sound off in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, hit the bell button so you stay up to date on every video I post. I'm just getting back into the swing of making videos, so I know it may not be appearing in all of you guys' sub feeds. But yeah. Alright guys, take care, and until next time, swag out.